You've had a long travel.
I have straight after work, so I'm a secondary school maths teacher. 3:05 in Winsford. I was out the door 1 minute behind the kids, and it was looking dodgy, going round Manchester. A little bit sticky through Leeds, but I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm knackered, I'm thirsty, I'm starving, but it's for 3 points, it's all got to be worth it, isn't it?
Well, you're a mathematician, so what's the chances, do you reckon, of a win today?
Oh, 99.9%, I would say.
You're not expecting any sort of surprises or whatever?
No, I think we're in too much of a high.
Yeah.
I think, things are going well. And we've been in these positions before. The old Newcastle might have let us down, but this bunch of players with Eddie behind it and a big, noisy evening crowd, I can't see anything but 3 points.
So are you a regular for this, or have you travelled up because this seems like it could be the promoter of the party?
Yeah. So my nephew has it when I can't make
Clock
it.
the miles up then, yeah?
But tonight, I'm not going to miss this. First time in the Champions League in 20 years. It's got to be worth the journey, innit?
Yeah.
So.
What have you thought of this? Because obviously, presumably, you've been following for a while. This seemed like a wild dream.
Oh,
what does it mean?
It's mental. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, we're on a high. The lads in the pub and me, we just can't believe we're low. No. We've got a team that plays for the shirt, that tries, and the club wants to succeed, and that's all we've ever wanted. We try as a fan base, we give everything, and now the club's giving everything. So we're all cloud 9.
Yeah, I mean,
cloud 10 if there's one higher than that.
It's odd asking this before there's transfer windows or anything like that, but what's your hopes for next season? There's obviously going to be Liverpool, who you think will be good. Chelsea might figure their stuff out. What do you think for next season?
Listen, I know you hear rumours and links, all the European players we've never heard of, but just trust the process, trust the people who've got behind the scenes as well, and I know we'll kick on from this season.
Well, we ask everyone this every home game, who do you want, who do you want, who do you want? Everyone throughout the season has said Maddison. We've just spoke to some Leicester fans who said Maddison wouldn't get into our starting 11. Some would say there's a star player. What for you, is he fanciable? Would you get him in?
I'd say Maddison can add something, because he's played well for a poor Leicester side, and I think he's got 19 or 20 goals and assists. And a poor side, that's a quality player for me.
What are you doing if they do get promoted today? You got anything special plans?
Well, I've got to drive back again, so I might have a half with the lads back in the junction.
Champions League, is it happening?
Of course it's happening. You know it's happening. Everyone knows it's happening. Yeah, it's got to happen.
What's your prediction for the match score-wise?
Well, I saw a post on Instagram, and there was 6 Magpies, 6-0.
6-0?
6-0 Leicester. Not to Leicester, 6-0 Newcastle.
We'll clip that up.
Again, fucked.
Champions League, how long have you been following Newcastle, and what does this mean to your Champions League football?
All my life. I'm a young boy. This is the first time I'll ever see them in Champions League. And wow, if that happens, I can't wait. I'll follow them everywhere. I'll pay whatever. I'll do whatever.
Yeah. What does it mean to you? Because you've obviously been through relegation and stuff recently and stuff.
Thing is, we've been through a lot of hard times as a club, but to come out the other side and do what we're doing, oh wow, it's just amazing. Like, you never thought, no one thought it would happen. No one. Yeah. Can't wait.
Where did you think at the start of the season?
I thought top 10 maximum. To get top 4. It's different.
It's mad. We're asking fans as well, if you can give a message to the owners, what would you give?
Thank you so much for everything you've done. You legends. Absolute legends.
Does this show you as well, because we've spent a lot but not crazy amount, does it show you previous owners, if they'd just put their hand in their pocket a bit more, what this club could have done?
Thing is, previous owners, they might have put their hand in the pocket, but this is all down to Eddie Howe. Everything that we have got is because Eddie Howe is a great manager. I don't see anyone in the Premier League that could do the job that he's done and take us to where we've got with what we've spent. I don't think they could have.
Did you want Eddie Howe when he first came? He wasn't first choice, Emery was,
I spoke to my family and I was like, if we get Eddie Howe, we'll do well. And I know that's a controversial opinion, but...
Has he lived up to what you thought then?
No, he's done so much more, so much more, so much more.
Perfect.
I can't imagine, like...
anyone else.
Wow, what a guy.
Champions League, is it going to happen tonight, do you reckon?
I think so. I think it's already happened. To be honest with you.
Well, there's no Maddison, there's no Barnes.
See, I don't know, I think it'll be a typical Newcastle. I'll look this up.
There was rumours about him.
I don't see how confident.
There still is, and we've said this 100 times now. We ask fans every single home game, who do you want? Who do you want? Who's your number one transfer target? Everyone says Maddison. Is he yours?
I don't know who I want. There's that many rumours going about who we're after and all the rest. I don't know. I'll just accept anybody he
whoever
signs.
they go for,
Aye.
I'd have to say Declan Rice, like, because it allowed Bruno to be a bit more fluid, like he was last season.
Yeah.
With I think it was Shelby sitting, and I think that just like transformed the midfield completely.
Yeah, and how, if you don't mind us asking, how long have you followed Newcastle?
God, I'm drinking hell, man.
I'll come to you first.
I'll
let you add it up.
22, yeah, for me.
22,
like,
yeah.
Just born into this.
13, mine is 68, I don't know, 55 years.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot. We've seen previous owners who have sold West Stars on deadline day. We've seen all sorts of mess. Where the club is now, what do you got to say?
I would say after the misery we've had for the last 30 years off the other incumbent, I nearly swore there, I think, but I think it's in a fabulous position, and I can see it just. Don't get too ambitious straight away, because we're not going to win everything straight away. Just take our time.
Yeah, you know? But at the start of the season, where did you expect Newcastle?
At the start of the season, I expected top half.
Top half, yeah.
But now, this is great, and it's. I just wish we could. I wish we could lose tonight, but so that Everton get relegated, you know. But it's anyway. It's great.
Who is your three for going down? Obviously, you've got Southampton.
Well, Southampton are going to go.
Yeah.
I'd never expected Leicester to be there, and I would like Everton to go down.
Yeah.
And also, well, that's it, isn't it? It's got to be Everton, Southampton, and
Leicester.
I don't know who the other. It's Leicester's going to go down.
Well, they seem to be everyone's favourite team a few years ago. Have you got a soft spot for them, or no?
No, only Newcastle.
Yeah.
And then my second team is Newcastle Reserves. And then
the women's as well, yeah.
No, third team's the juniors and the women now. I never used to have a fourth team.
So, in terms of Champions League, what does that mean to you as well? Because you'll have been through a hell of a lot as well.
My first taste was the Europa League, and to get Champions League, it'll be absolutely amazing. I've not experienced it before. And
you've experienced relegations though, and now you're getting the top end of it.
Oh, I have. I was at Wembley, and that was enough for me. But going into this and seeing I was explaining it about back in the day, it was Shola scored at the new camp. Oh, I just can't wait.
Yeah. Have you got a message to the owners as well? Presumably they watch the channel, but
just thank you.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Exactly the same. I felt like the club was going nowhere under the last ownership, and then what they've came in to do, and it's amazing. I can't believe it how it's happened so quick.
Yeah, you mentioned the previous ownership. Does it just show you, because we've invested a little bit, but not crazy amounts. Does it just show you, Mike Ashley, if he'd have just had a little bit of ambition, well, obviously got into Europa, like you said, if he'd have just dig a little bit deeper, what he could have done?
But he never had any ambition. You could tell after the first season he didn't want anything to do with the club doing well. He was just happy for it to tick over. And if you know, I actually gave up my ticket a couple of years ago, and we were very lucky when they sold 1,000. We got one each, which was very lucky. And I would have been gutted now, but I had to do it. I just had to stop giving him my money.
Yeah, well, so we'll speak to taxi drivers. Do exactly the same. Loads of people just refuse to go with them.
And I mean, the difference. Well, you know the money they've got. It's going to be massive difference anyway. But he just did not. He was not interested in Newcastle.
Yeah, it's such a shame though.
As a team, as a place, anything.
Yeah. Leicester. 0-0 was enough for Newcastle to qualify for Champions League. That's right, Champions League. Just 2 years ago, Newcastle were under horrendous ownership, selling their star players on deadline day. They've now got owners which have got a load of ambition, going to take the club forward, and look what it means to the Newcastle fans. You can see the celebrations going to go wild into the night. This is exactly what it means to Newcastle. This is what it means to the city. This is what it means to the club. No more Chef Kikuchi, no more Joe Kinnear, none of that. Newcastle, exactly what it means to them.
To see this, just makes us so happy. I'm gonna cry. I'm actually gonna cry. You need to cut it. You need to cut it. I'm gonna cry.
What does this mean here? Champions League, Newcastle Champions League, them words, what do they mean?
Everything. No one could have even imagined this. No matter how high you think, this would never happen in a million years.
When you think this time last year, where were we? And where we're now, it's fucking unbelievable, mate.
Yeah, nearly at the Championship and now Champions League.
Oh, mate, I'm lost for words. I am, honestly.
Yeah.
If you'd have said to me this time last year that we'd be Champions League, I'd have snapped your hand off.
Yeah.
I would have.
What do we need to say?
Yeah, the backdrop says it all.
This just says it all, really. This is what it means to the city.
What's your message to the owners? They obviously come in, pluck one out. We had an owner who had no ambition, we're going nowhere. These have come in. What's your message to the owners?
You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing, and thank you. It means the fucking world.
Yeah, thank you very much. You've saved this. This is what it means to the city. This is what it means to the club. Yeah. You know, we've travelled 3 hours for this. This just explains it. It really does.
A few years ago, you would never imagine this sort of crowd outside the yard.
Well, it still seems weird saying Newcastle Champions League. Them words just seem a bit surreal.
It's surreal, mate. As you see it, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. How far can we go in the Champions League? What's your expectation? Our first season. It's early, but what do you reckon?
I'm happy. We've qualified. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not bothered. We're in the Champions League.
Yeah.
All I want to say is, if my gaffer's watching this, he's a Sunderland fan.
Yeah.
Championship! Champions League, there's levels to this. It's not the same thing, mate. It's not the same thing.
You enjoy the Championship next season, we're going to enjoy the Champions League. That's all I can say.
Quick fire question as well. Now we are Champions League. What's your number one transfer target?
DRB. We need to strengthen the wingers.
Yeah.
DRB.
DRB, two for DRB.
I'd be happy if we get Madison as well.
Everyone said Madison all season with you. You've seen him tonight. What did you make of his performance?
No, I think he could play quite well. And on a note, they played better than we did. 23 shots. Oh, we should have put one away.
It took him to come on for them to actually press forward. What point in the game did they get even into our half before he even came on the pitch? Yeah. Kind of shows what we kind of want.
Does this just show you if Mike Ashley had just put a bit more coin in, what this juggernaut, what this club could actually have done?
Everyone would have loved him.
This was smart recruitment. They haven't even spent that much since they've come in.
Yeah.
They've got all the money and they've not spent it. So it's going to be interesting to see how much they spend in the transfer.
Yeah, a bit of ambition by him. A bit of ambition by him. Yeah.
I feel like it means more because we went through that such a hard time.
Yeah.
It means so much more now.
The lows make the high better.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Yeah.
And as I say, this is further than what we expected. I'm happy if it ends here. Yeah. For now.
Where were you expecting at the start of the season? No, honestly.
I've got
7.
I made a list on my phone for 8. Everyone at work made a list. I put 7 because that was ambitious. No one could have guessed third place.
No.
Just soak it up. Just soak it up. Just soak this up and enjoy it. That's all I can say for Newcastle fans. Just enjoy it while we can.
What does this mean? What does this mean getting Champions League for you, fella? What does it mean?
What doesn't it mean? 20-year win. I'm 40. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We're asking fans as well, what's your message to the owners?
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving our club back. What can I say? Got rid of Ashley. We got these in.
What a scene as well.
It was like, to be honest, we went to Wembley. Wembley was unreal. Different planet now. Different planet.
Newcastle Champions League, what does it mean to you?
It means everything, mate. We've waited 20 years for this. 18 months ago, we were going down. Now we're in the Champions League. You can write this, man. Come on, the dude. He done a better job than me, but it's fucking priceless. I'd be in tears if I wouldn't say this.
What's your message to the owners?
Owners, keep on doing what you've been doing. You built such a stable club so far. You've hired the right people in the right positions. Keep on doing what you're doing. And we're going right to the fucking top. Where again? The top! Come on!
Right. Champions League, Newcastle, what does that mean to you?
Anyway, it's just an absolute dream, isn't it? It's like it's something
Unbelievable. Absolutely mint. I can't believe it.
Never expected it. Never thought it would happen.
Is it sunk in? Because you've obviously had a week thinking it might happen.
It hasn't really sunk in. I mean,
playing Real Madrid, Barcelona.
geordies in the fucking Champions League, man. Oh, well, it's fucking...
Go on!
What's your message? We're asking Newcastle fans. What's your message to the owners? They'll be watching.
I love you. Give us a kiss.
Thank you. Massive thank you. Amazing. Love you a bit. A man has to Gadusi, everything.
Beautiful. Absolutely unbelievable.
They took out the mess because it was not long ago where we're looking down Championship and all the rest of it. No ambition, nothing.
I walked out of here this time last year, 0-0 draw with Norwich, and we celebrated.
Celebrating staying up. Now we're in the Champions League.
Now, Eddie Howe, man. Eddie Howe. Yeah, just like Joe Linton, Bruno, Botman, Nick Pope. Absolutely tremendous. Trippier, how well, that boy is
unbelievable.
Steve Bruce had these players, right, and they weren't motivated. In comes Eddie Howe and turns a bunch of players who just didn't have anything, didn't have a get up and go, turned them into world beaters, and we are class now. We are Champions League.
How are we going to do? How are we going to fare first year? We don't know transfers or anything yet, but how do you reckon we're going to fare in the Champions League?
Does it matter? Does it matter?
We've made it.
Does it matter?
Made it.
Are you hopeful? Are you hopeful of getting far or what?
I'm not bothered.
Doesn't matter.
I am not bothered.
Does it matter?
I tell you what, I'd break an arm to be top 7. We're top 5.
Could be top 3.
Top 4 even. Top 3.
I did trips to Eindhoven and Feyenoord last time out, so fingers crossed.
How does this rank? Have you been to Europe before? How does this rank to that?
Oh, it's class. Well, the thing is, we were expected to be there last time. We were a top club in this country when we went last time. This
out of nowhere.
I fell in the canal. Yeah. Middle of November, ice through the ice. Get in. That's what it's all about, man.
Exactly.
Surviving like that.
Now that we're officially Champions League, who's your number 1 target?
Not bad.
Kyle Walker-Peters, Osimhen, and I'd say Gerard Moreno. Even though he's quite old, I'd sign him.
Kyle Walker-Peters? He's the first time we've had him on the...
Have you seen how good he is? He's good. I'd take him any day.
Who are you going for? If I kind of get Kyle Walker-Peters...
To be honest, I'd be quite happy to take Maddison.
Everyone said that all year.
Great player. Declan Rice.
Declan Rice,
aye.
Too expensive. Diaby from Liverpool.
With Maddison probably going to get relegated now, do you reckon we're probably front of the line?
Do you know what? I think Newcastle will do well with this squad in the Champions League because we play a certain type of football.
Need to add to it though. Need strength and depth.
How many roughly do you reckon? Because we're going to be three, yeah.
I think another 4 or 5 players to come in.
Alexander Isak though. How good is different class, isn't he? Different class.
I think we need a midfielder because Joe Linton's a bit injury prone now and then. Same with Willock. And maybe one attacker and possibly a defender because Shaw's getting on now, but he's gorgeous. He's beautiful. But we could do with a centre back, like someone like
a younger
one, with potential. We could do with someone like I couldn't tell you.
We're not bothered, man.
Anyone?
See what he brings in.
We're not turning into Man City.
I'm going to head off because I can't breathe in any longer.